holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day, and it will be windy. We'll see an afternoon high near 53. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a continuing breeze over 14. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and an afternoon high around 28. Meteorologist outlook, but 3.7 Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Davis Plumbing is a locally owned company specializing in a wide range of plumbing services for both commercial and residential customers. Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and has a team of experienced plumbers ready to help you with any project, big or small. Customer satisfaction and peace of mind is the number one priority. So for any commercial or residential project, give Davis Plumbing a call today at 402-525-6922. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Rose Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's. During double discount days, double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations, and our gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. And right now, during gift card double discount days, when you buy $50 gift cards, get a $10 gift card free. Happy holidays from Valentino's.
Celebrate Christmas this year with Venue Restaurant and Lounge and our Christmas to-go meal packages. Our options include rosemary brown sugar prime rib with horseradish cream, andouille cornbread pork roulade with a sage country gravy, pistachio cranberry butter roasted duck with orange glaze, and an herb roasted whole chicken with lemon thyme cream sauce. You choose delivery right to your home or pick up at our Venue at Home storefront. Order today at holidaysbyvenue.net. That's holidaysbyvenue.net.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited. All built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trading credits up to $2,000 during the month of December. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft on end-of-the-year special store-wide at their new 27th and I-80 location.
Everybody likes choices when it comes to gifts. And a Max Tan gift card offers spray tanning, UV tanning, and red light therapy at all Lincoln locations. Give the gift that everyone wants this holiday season by visiting any Max Tan location in Lincoln or at maxtan.net.
The Body Lab, located at 14 Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's Recovery Lab is the ideal spot. Featuring an infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, where if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at the Body Lab, LNK.com. Or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire, 402-560-6197.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM for 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Adam Carriekr Show.
Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriekr.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriekr.
He's got left arm going.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriekr.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriekr Show, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday here on 90.7 The Ticket from noon to 1 p.m. Central Time. Grab your lunch. Come join yours truly. You're going to hear Huskers sports, college football, and general sports as well. In the meantime, we'll try to give you some unique insights, unbridled honesty, and producer Jake and I are going to have a whole lot of fun in the process. Right off the top, Carriekr's Trivia Challenge. No, Phil Snow is not the most important thing that we're going to talk about to kick off the show. It's Carriekr's Trivia Challenge. Call this number. What is that number, Jake?
It will be 402-464-5685.
If you haven't noticed, it never changes. Call that number. Take on yours truly. Jake, what is the topic of today's Trivia Challenge?
Well, we're getting into the playoffs, so I think some of those teams would look into that.
Kind of what I figured. All right, Carriekr's Trivia Challenge. Call that number. The first person to call in, the first victim, individual to call in can come on. You get 3 questions. I get 3 questions. We have a BS tiebreaker that we're going to change come January, but for now we're stuck with it because I keep forgetting to bring it up to Jake. But if we need it, we got a tiebreaker. All right, the over-under where you get the advantage, but that's okay. I'm 5-2 so far. 5-2, not bad.
5-3.
No. I've lost twice. I don't know the wins. I know the losses. It's either 6-2 or 5-2. I think it's. You're going to say 3-2, weren't you?
I thought it was 5-3, but it could be 5-2.
I know I have 2 losses. It's the amount of wins. We're just going to go 9-2, and the only facts give away a good story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, call that number. First person to call in, go Mono E Mono or Mono E Woman, whatever the case may be, versus yours truly. In the meantime, I'm going to shock you with this. We've got a loaded show. All right, Phil Snow. It was just put out by the university. As I was sitting down, I got text messages about it. All right, is officially the associate head coach here at the University of Nebraska. Kind of knew it was going to happen. I thought it was interesting in Rules. I think it was his last press conference. I'm pretty sure it was his last one. He had to say, Phil Snow is not officially on staff, but if he were to hire an older individual in that type of role, and then he proceeded to talk about basically Phil Snow without talking about Phil Snow, because that's the way the world works, and that's how you have to be. But I do think it's a good hire. When it was announced that he was expected to be the associate head coach at some point, all right, my initial thought was, why do we need an associate head coach? And the more I kind of thought about it, because this was pretty much the same time that John Butler was hired as the DC, although that was official at the time, Terry Braden. At the time, I don't remember that was official or if that was just anticipated. I can't keep all this news straight, but I digress. The point is, Terry's the D-line coach. All right, obviously John's the DC, and Mr. Snow, all right, is now the official associate head coach. I'm like, man, we got 4 potential. Well, if we do add UCF's defensive coordinator, all right, Addison Williams, we would have 4 potential defensive coordinators in the past, from Matt Rule to Snow to Butler to Williams, if he does indeed join the staff. On staff, which is a lot, but it does seem like Rule trusts Butler to be in charge of the defense. So while Rule's more of a defensive guy, obviously Snow is more of a defensive guy. And just a reminder, everywhere that Matt Rule's been, Temple, Baylor, Carolina, except Nebraska, he has been Matt Rule's defensive coordinator at some point. Last year in the Big 12, had the number 1 defense in the Big 12 at Temple. The defense was the strength of their team. All right, and at Carolina, as god-awful and bad as that team was, they actually had the number 2 ranked defense. All right, at one point, at the end of, I forget which season it was, during Matt Rule's tenure there. So always played good defense. So immediately my mind went to, all right, he's going to help with defense. I'm sure he will. I don't think that's his main role, though. There's a reason we have GMs now in college football. Never had one before, until about a year and a half ago when Nebraska hired one. There's a reason that Phil Snow's been brought in as an associate head coach, because one man cannot do everything anymore. You're no longer running a football program. You're running a business. You're recruiting your own freaking current players and the entire roster, because nobody's committed. I mean, they can come and go basically as they please, at least twice a year, every year. You have to re-recruit your roster every single day. There's no contracts. Like, think about this. If teams start contacting Dylan come the spring, Matt Rule's got to re-recruit Dylan in the spring, and then next fall, and then next winter. It just never ends. And that's just one player. And then you got the transfer portal guys coming in and out. I got a list of
I don't know, I think about 1,000 guys that are visiting Lincoln this weekend. Okay, a bunch of, we got a big commit as well, and a couple more probably on the way, I might add. So an interesting JUCO rule, which I'm going to get into, that I don't know. My initial reaction was great. Now we're going to watch more 28-year-olds play college football. I thought we were finally done with the COVID rules, and I understand why they existed. At a certain point, it gets a little asinine how old some of these players are, and you got a 6th-year and a 7th-year senior, then a medical shirt, and they're like 89 years into the NFL, into their college career, and I'm like, oh my Lord, when do we get back to normalcy? I thought we were going to start to get there, and now you can basically stash players. If you're a major college football team, like if Nebraska wants to, they can recruit guys, put them 2 years at a JUCO, stash them there, bam, let them develop, bring them into Nebraska, and then you still have 4 years of eligibility. That's what the rule is, in case you didn't know. You can now go to a JUCO, play 1 to 2 years, leave, and still have 4 years of eligibility to play, all right, collegiate football, FBS football, FCS football, whatever the case may be. So that's the new rule. I'm conflicted. Part of me thinks the NCAA just needs to get the hell out of the way, back up, get out, put somebody in charge that knows what they're doing, not the conference commissioners, because they only care about their conference. And how do you get mad at them? That's their job. And right now the landscape is they only need to care about their conference. The Pac-12. Nobody cared about the Pac-12. Look what's going on with them. The ACC. I've had people float rumors my way that North Carolina brought in Bill Belichick. I know I'm all over the place right now. Okay, but that's okay. I've had so many things come at me. When I don't do a Wednesday show, I basically have like 48 hours worth of stuff that's been built up that comes out on Thursday. You can only imagine what my Monday notes look like, by the way. But somebody was like, hey, what do you think of this? Because there's been a bunch of people with this train of thought. When it comes to North Carolina hiring Bill Belichick, they let go of Mac Brown because he was too old, and then they brought in 72-year-old Bill Belichick, by the way. But he is Bill Belichick. But they're like, North Carolina sees the writing on the wall with the ACC. And football is the driving force. North Carolina's got one of the top baseball programs in the country. We all know about Carolina basketball. But football is the driving force. Now, North Carolina as a brand is probably the most single attractive entity that the ACC has. There's a lot of thoughts that the Big Ten and SEC aren't even that interested in Florida State Clemson. There is interest in Virginia. Like with Florida State Clemson, I'm surprised to hear that. I do need it confirmed by more people than I've heard it from. But I know there's interest in Virginia, but North Carolina is like the number one brand. But if you're Carolina and your football team is struggling, football is the driving force. You bring in a guy like Bill Belichick, knowing the landscape of football is changing. And all of a sudden, you don't have to win 11, 12 games. You're Carolina. That's not the expectations. Can you win 8, 9, 10? All of a sudden, everything that is valued by the Big Ten and SEC, which I do believe Carolina is going to end up at one of those two conferences in the next 3 or 4 years, now your value goes through the roof. And the amount of money that they can try to entice you to come to the conference with goes through the roof. With a guy like Bill Belichick and just winning 8, 9, or 10 games, you don't even have to compete for championships at this point. You've already got the brand, but you need to be as attractive as possible. And that's why they hired Bill Belichick. Also, Belichick's dad coached there. I mean, North Carolina kind of was the college of his youth, even though he's never coached college football in his career. So there are ties beyond that to Carolina. But going back to Snow, again, I've been all over the place. So far this show, it's going to be a fun show. Loaded, as always. My thought is, Matt Rule's like, who's my most trusted, I don't want to say confidant, but like coach he's had over the years? It's got to be Phil Snow. He's got to be up there as much as anybody, if not more. Basically, Phil Snow's being brought in to help Matt Rule do his job, which is no longer just being a football coach. It's no longer even just running a business. It's being a full-time, nonstop, never-ending recruiter, evaluator, right? Running a business. It is, then you got to, actually, we got a bowl game coming up. Jake, did you forget about the bowl game coming up?
I think that's in the back of my mind.
It's like in the way back of my mind. I saw a prediction video the other day, and I was like, oh, crap. I need to talk about that bowl game at some point. Like, you got all these things that are going on. That is why Phil Snow is here. And that's basically essentially what Matt Rule said, which kind of confirmed what I had been thinking at the time, all right, in his last press conference. So let's get to some of these other things here. Now, how do you pronounce this individual's first name? So it's Hunter. Is it Nijah Hunter? Jake, is that how you say that? The wide receiver along with Dane Key that's here?
Yeah, I can't Can't confirm. That'd be my best guess.
I'm pretty sure it's Nijah Hunter and Dane Key. I mean, it's been pretty much confirmed that they are the top 2 wide receiver portal targets. They're in Lincoln, going to be in Lincoln, okay, in the next few days here as well. And let me get back on track here. Kind of lost my spot in my notes. All right. Oh, yeah, big commitment. So those are the top 2 targets for Nebraska right now, those 2 wide receivers. And they're both really good players. I've talked about Dane Key several times. Hunter has become, I mean, he's one of the top wide receivers in the portal right now as well. 40 catches, 578 yards, and 5 TDs in his freshman season, this past season, which is still going on, so it's weird to say, but in his first season, which was at Cal for him. So he's a young guy who's played a lot, got a lot of ball left to play in his future. All right. Mississippi State transfer defensive lineman Gabe Moore has committed to Nebraska as of just, I don't know, maybe 2 hours ago. 6'4", 290 pounds with 4 seasons of eligibility left. All right. He's a freshman. His senior stats in high school, because again, he redshirted last year. 39 tackles for loss, 116 tackles, 12 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 2 pass breakups. Not many linemen have TBUs. I think I had 1 in my entire collegiate career. But this is an individual who he's not going to fit the mold of someone who's played a lot of ball, of someone who is proven already. He was one of the top 100 defensive linemen in the country coming out of high school. He's going to fit the mold of someone who's a little bit more unproven, but has a lot of potential and a high ceiling. Does Matt Rule have time to wait for him to develop? How quickly will he be ready to play? How much of an impact can he make right out the gate? And if he can't do it right away, how long do we have to wait for someone like this to contribute? And you start to look at our defensive line, our pass rushers, because that was the big concern. A lot of the guys who've hit the portal, a lot of the guys who are gone are on defense, especially D-line. James Williams, as I mentioned the other day, just committed to Florida State. A lot of them are linebacker, edge rusher types. So we bring in Williams and Ware, a guy who just redshirted. You talk about him. You talk about Gabe. You talk about talented guys who are relatively unproven. How much can Rule and his staff get out of them, and how soon can they get that aforementioned talent to develop and get it out of them? And how long does Rule have to do this? College football is different. The expectations, the patience level is different than it used to be. All right. Unfortunately, I wish him all the best, but Isaiah Worrell has committed to Oregon. So wish him the best. We have also offered UCLA portal DB Jalen Davies, 40 career games he's played in, 108 tackles, 4 interceptions. So there's all sorts of offers that have gone out. Now, when I talk about Gabe coming, when I talk about the receivers that I've talked about, I know that at this moment in time, and again, you can just wait 5 minutes and things change, but Nebraska has a real chance to get the number 1 edge rusher in the transfer portal right now, Patrick Payton. All right, he has multiple ties to Nebraska's football program. He originally committed to Nebraska in 2022. All right, and obviously coming from Florida State is where he's from, Phil Simpson. He's got a lot of ties to Phil Simpson, who is now here at Nebraska, who's an elite recruiter. So if we could get, you talk about Williams and Ware, a young player, but a lot of talent. He's got the talent to help contribute right away if Rule and his staff can get it out of him. Patrick Payton, all of a sudden, this is the number 1 edge rusher in the portal right now. You got 2 edge rushers coming off the edge. Okay. And then you've got some of the D linemen that we currently have. You add Gabe to the mix. We added another one earlier this week. So talk to me currently, Jake, about the D linemen, the linebackers, the edge rushers. Just start listing them off to me, from Riley Van Poppel to Elijah Judy, but I don't want to leave anybody out because I feel a lot better than I did. Now, a lot of these guys are relatively unproven, all right, other than Peyton, so to speak, but it's hard not to look at this and be like, they're young, they're talented, there's 1 or 2 proven guys, but there's guys with ability, plus the freshmen that are coming in. When you look at Dawson Merritt, you look at Christian Jones, who is the Butkus Award winner, not just for Nebraska, but in the entire country, the top high school linebacker in the entire country. It's crazy because so much young talent is now in the front 7 that is so unproven. So, Jake, list everybody off, all right? And then I want to chat with you about how we now currently feel about our front seven on defense. So what are the names?
So we'll start with the defensive line. Soa Lefotu, Riley Van Poppel, Cam Linhart, Elijah Judy, Mason Goldman, a couple guys that transferred, Dylan Parrott, Connor Keneally, David Borkers, Leslie Black, Ashton Murphy, Keona Davis returned, David Hopkin. So that's your defensive line.
Forgot about Davis. See, that's why I wanted you to list them off. I didn't want to forget somebody. There's a lot of talented guys right there when you consider let's say we get, and I'm just kind of saying, let's say we get Peyton, and maybe we don't. I know he's leaning towards Nebraska right now. That is what I know. I've had too many people in the know who have confirmed that with me. So you got Gabe. Let's say Peyton comes. Maybe he doesn't. Well, let's say he does. Add him to the list. How do you feel about the talent, youth, inexperience, but the ability of the front seven now?
I mean, I think that's what they need. I think they need an edge rusher to complement some of the kind of the big guys that they have inside. But yeah, I mean, that's been a concern for years. Nebraska finally felt like, I mean, they did all right in sacks the last couple of years. But you know, they just lost so much from the edge rush position this year in the portal.
So last year, I asked Cam Linhart. Did you say him?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. See, this is why I want you to list them all off. So for me, I see a huge upside. I see a lot of improving players, but I see a huge upside here. Last year, I anticipated the defensive line being the strength of the entire team. I do believe that Nash Hutmaker doing wrestling last winter, as awesome as that story was, okay, he had to lose a bunch of weight. He had to put on a bunch of weight. Ladies and gentlemen, I have put on 100 pounds in my life, 225 to 325 from my senior year of high school to my highest 1 point day in D.C., all the way back down to 225. When that day hit, I went to Dunkin' Donuts, ate a dozen donuts. It wasn't my fault. I was only supposed to eat 6, Jake, and then my family didn't come home for 2 hours, and they just looked so good. But I am now about 270, okay-ish, give or take. I know what it's like to put on weight, try to do it the right way, take it off. And then he never really got an off season because you want to talk about a physical sport as wrestling. Then he never got a winter conditioning. I love the story. But I feel like it hindered his ability to play at his height this year, what he could have been this year. So we were going to rely on Hutmaker. We were going to rely on Robinson. And Hutmaker played fine. He wasn't as consistent, but it ended up being just Robinson that we really relied on. Jamari did fine at times. Cam did fine at times, but nobody else really stood out. I actually felt like the D-line probably played consistently better the year before when they were basically all unproven except for Ty Robinson. This kind of reminds me of 2 years ago, with some names that we know and have seen the field a little bit, and a lot of unproven names with talent. Now, will we get the same results as far as 2 years ago? Don't know. I would love Williams and Ware, okay, the Florida State linebacker, Peyton, if he does come, to get more pressure off the edge. I think that would be a big difference maker that we've not had consistently along with being able to stop the run. Now, there's a million guys who visited, who are visiting. We brought in Jack McAllister, all right, who's started for 3 years as a punter. You probably all heard about him. Kevin's long-lost brother. All right, I believe he averaged like 44 yards per punt, and now he's here. We brought in a long snapper, so hopefully a lot of our special teams concerns. At some point, we got to talk about Ed Foley and what should or should not happen there, but we'll get to that. A lot of news in the meantime. Hopefully that's been helped and upgraded. You got guys like Barney and Lloyd and some of these other individuals who can return kicks. So, and we have our kicker back. So hopefully special teams is going to be better next year. Again, we'll address the coordinator thing at some point, probably sooner rather than later, but we'll see what happens. Did he do enough to keep his job? Yes or no? I had one person look at me and say yes until we missed the field goal with a bad snap against Iowa, and then the answer is literally no. Like literally one play in this person's mind switched it to no. And then I've had other people say yes, and I've had other people honestly laugh that I even posed the question. Okay, but we'll get there. There's been a ton of other visitors. All right, one of note, 4-star edge, Samuel Mpemba. I hope I said that right. 6'3", 6'3.5", 240 pounds, out of Georgia, a young player, explosive off the edge if you watch his film. Hey, Jake, do you think LeBron James is hanging out with Ellen DeGeneres right now? All right, let's get back to Husker football, ladies and gentlemen. So, big court ruling when it comes to JUCOs. And I was chatting, I'm sure Terrell Farley talked about it on his show. I didn't get to hear the captain today, but check it out when you get a chance. But I was chatting with him beforehand. I was like, do you like this ruling where you can go to JUCO for 2 years and then you still have 4 years of eligibility? He goes, I loved it. He goes, I would have loved to have had 4 years of eligibility at Nebraska. For me, and then I'm like, okay. And Jake can vouch for me. I literally, have we had a caller, by the way?
Not yet.
Okay, call in for Carriekr's Trivia Challenge. All right, take on yours truly. What is that number there, Jake?
402-464-5685.
All right. And I go, but is it best for college football? And that's when Terrell paused and he goes, I don't know. Every rule change that happens, there's pluses, there's minuses. The first one that stuck out to me, well, the first thing that stuck out to me years ago was Christian McCaffrey sitting out of the bowl game. The first player that I can remember to sit out of a bowl game. We eventually had a player here at Nebraska sit out of the last game of the season. Luckily, that didn't catch on. And I remember, who was the South Carolina DN that was the number 1 pick?
Jadeveon Clowney.
That was talks he was going to sit out his entire junior season, and I hated everything about that. But the next big rule change that stuck out to me was you could play 4 games and still redshirt. I see pluses and minuses to that. I don't see a whole lot of gigantic negatives there. Then you start to see NIL and the transfer portal. I mean, athletes were not being compensated fairly for the amount of money that the universities were making. The way it is right now cannot be a sustainable model. It just is not a sustainable model. College football is a business. The powers that be at some point are going to say, you know what? We need to put a salary cap because that's how we're going to spend less money. We're going to put a limit on the amount of money that we can spend. Okay, these kids are constantly jumping in and out of the portal. Well, every time you go in, you're trying to get more money. So we're going to limit that, aka a contract. I believe these things are coming at some point, but right now it is. I've said it before. It's the insane wild, wild west. Some of these things have helped. Some of these things I believe have been more detrimental to the sport than they've helped. With the JUCO, you can play 2 years, 1 year, and still have 4 years of eligibility. I see pluses. You know, individuals who get overlooked coming out of high school, all of a sudden they're going to get more years if they go prove themselves at the JUCO level. All right, they're going to get more opportunities once they do get to major college football or wherever they end up playing. That's a positive. A negative is you're going to see teams that are going to be like, hey, we're going to start stacking this JUCO team, or we're going to make it a farm team. And we're going to, I don't want to say cheat the system, but they're going to use the system. And not as it was intended. I'm tired of seeing 26, 27-year-olds that play college football for like their 7th or 8th season. You know, for me, I don't know that that's great. I don't know it's a bad thing. They get to play more. But how does that affect kids coming out of high school? How does that affect the ricochet effect, the trickle-down effect of everything? With this JUCO ruling, I'm not a gigantic fan of it because I think it's going to be used and abused until they put more parameters on it. I think right out the gate, that's my initial reaction. You got any thoughts there, Jake?
Oh, no, I was rolling through getting this game show ready. Sorry.
No, you're good. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I know we're up against a break coming soon. The Wake Forest, I mean, there's a bunch of visitors coming in. I'm trying to pick out the ones that stand out the most. Wake Forest offensive lineman Keegan Trost. All right. He is in Lincoln today, 6'4", 305 pounds, started for Wake Forest, played 766 snaps this past year. I do believe snaps is a stat, just saying. All right, if you're Washington State, how many teams do they have in that supposed Pac-12? 7, 6, 5? Is it still really just 2, actually?
I think right now it's 2.
It's just 2? They have no head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, running backs coach, and they have 22 players in the transfer portal right now, including 10 starters. Goodness gracious. That's just craziness to me. All right. Couple of things real quick. I thought this was interesting. So there was an unconfirmed report that if Dylan entered the portal, like he could command 10, 12, 13 million in the portal. Obviously, he's back at Nebraska. But I bring that up because Ryan Williams, the 17-year-old phenom from Alabama, who they were talking about all offseason, and for people at Alabama to talk about a true freshman, let alone a 17-year-old, he skipped a senior year of high school. He should be in high school right now. And he was by far their best receiver, has entered the portal. And I'm just like, what type of money can that guy get? I mean, what type of money could he get? I mean, obviously it'd be awesome he came to Nebraska, but for me, just the thought of guys like that entering the portal, the type of money that they can make is crazy to me. All right, when you think about total amount of players in the transfer portal right now, you look at the Big Ten. Purdue's got 26 the most. That's going to happen when you win one game. Nebraska's at 23 right now. Wisconsin 17. UCLA, USC, Washington 16. Michigan 15. Maryland 14. Illinois 12. Iowa, Michigan State also at 12. Rutgers actually has the least amount with 3. Here was something I thought was interesting, though. And I'm going to give a final thought on the Heisman thing, because I think this confirmed why I would have voted for Hunter. And I did not plan on talking about this until I came across this stat, comparing Ashton Jeanty to Melvin Gordon, who did not win the Heisman. But before I get to that, all right, lost my thought here. Yeah, I completely lost my thought. So here's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to give my final thought on the Heisman thing. All right. So some people have said, did Boise State, not Boise, but playing at a G5, because Boise State, of all the G5 teams, they've got the biggest brand. I mean, BYU is a power team now. Cincinnati, Memphis, USC, they're all in, I say power conference. I use that term loosely, but they're in the Big 12, which is, a power conference, I guess. Boise, of all the G5 teams, has by far the biggest brand. I mean, you could say Army, Navy, just over the years, recognizability. But as far as, hey, that team's pretty good at football, it's Boise. So when people ask, did Boise cost Ashton Jeanty the Heisman? I don't think so. It's the G5. It's who did he play? Who did he do it against? So when you compare, and to be clear, Ashton Jeanty, I'll said it before and I'll say it again, could have won the Heisman. I would not have been one bit upset about that. But this was sent to me. Melvin Gordon, who did not win the Heisman in 2014, obviously played for Wisconsin. 343 carries, which is one less than Jeanty, who had 344. 2,587 rush yards, which is actually more than Jeanty had at 2,497. And again, Jeanty had a phenomenal season. Let me be clear. All right, Jeanty, 7.3 yards per carry. Gordon, 7.5. Touchdowns, 29 for Jeanty, 29 for Gordon. Catches, 19 for Gordon, 20 for Jeanty. Receiving yards, Gordon had more, 153. Jeanty had 116. And receiving touchdowns, 3 to 1 touchdown for Jeanty. So Gordon's stats are just a smidge better, just like a sliver, a hair better than Jeanty. And obviously Gordon did it at Wisconsin, which has a Heisman Trophy winning running back in Ron Dane in a big-time actual power conference, and it was a little bit different back then, but a power conference in the Big Ten, and he did not win the Heisman. Now, had Jeanty won it, would I have been, hey, man, you deserve it, no problem? Absolutely. I'm just saying, when you compare these stats and you compare Gordon, was it just a smidge better against tougher competition, and he didn't win it? I mean, you could argue he could have won it. Mariota won it that year. I thought Mariota had a great year. Gordon could have won it that year. He didn't. To me, it makes it like, all right, I look at Travis Hunter, and he legit just did something we've never seen before, and I don't know when we'll see it again. And for me, that's kind of my final thought on the Heisman. You got anything else? And does that change your mind at all, Jake? Because I know you were kind of leaning Jeanty a little bit.
Well, not really, because I think Melvin Gordon should have won that Heisman.
Oh, so that strengthens your argument for Jeanty, or is it just keep it the same?
I think it's about the same. Like I said, I would have went with Jeanty, and I think running backs. We talk about all the snaps that they have. He still didn't touch the ball near as much as Jeanty. So we talk about affecting the game, and certainly playing cornerback, you affect the game without touching the ball. But I thought that should have been factored in a little bit more. Is that Jeanty touched the ball like 150 more times or whatever it was.
So I will stand firm with what I've said all along. Either one of these guys would win it 9 out of 10 other years. Obviously, Jeanty wouldn't have won it in 2014 because Mariota beat Gordon and everything I just went through. The only thing this does, instead of me being like, I don't know, whatever I was, 52 Hunter, 48% of me would have voted for Jeanty. I'm probably like 60-40 Hunter versus Jeanty now. But again, either guy could have won it, and I'd have been all right with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do we have a caller?
No, we need one.
All right, call in. Carriekr's Trivia Challenge. The first person to call in, we will bring you on in. You get 3 questions, I get 3, and also you get to win a prize, so that's always fun. All right, give him that number, Jake, and then we'll head out to commercial.
402-464-5685.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CRF-R Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CRF Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with the Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CRF 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
The McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Man City faces off against Aston Villa at 6:30 a.m., followed by Ipswich Town playing Newcastle at 9 a.m. To cap off the Saturday action, Crystal Palace will face off against Arsenal at 11:30 a.m. On Sunday, Fulham plays Southampton at 8 a.m., and then Liverpool faces off against Tottenham at 10:30 a.m. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
Carriekr Services takes this time to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. They are thankful for many things this year and every year, and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends during this joyful celebration. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Carriekr Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Carriekr Services, on the air because they care. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
When we're building homes for people, we're really trying to advise on the things that are going to create value so that when they go to sell it, they're going to have equity so that they can go build their second home.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, the year has been a great year for Aspen Builders. We have had many repeat customers. We've been very blessed with great office staff, with great employees, and great subcontractors. We worked with a lot of new people building their dream home. We've built some great relationships. A lot of those relationships will continue. We'll be building them another new home down the road. So I'd like to take this time to wish all of our past customers and our future customers a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry, this deal ends soon. See Home Club for details.
Looking for a last-minute Christmas gift for the Husker fan and the family? Look no further. Share the Husker spirit by purchasing a women's basketball starting 5 mini plan today for just $65. The plan includes reserved seats for 5 home Big Ten matches for just $65. The Big Ten schedule is packed, with the Huskers hosting 7 contests against 2024 postseason qualifiers. Help us show the Big Ten what Husker Nation is all about by purchasing your starting 5 mini plan today. Don't wait. Head over to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat. Go Big Red.
Celebrate Christmas this year with Venue Restaurant and Lounge and our Christmas to-go meal packages. Our options include rosemary brown sugar prime rib with horseradish cream, andouille cornbread pork roulade with a sage country gravy, pistachio cranberry butter roasted duck with an orange glaze, and an herb roasted whole chicken with lemon thyme cream sauce. You choose delivery right to your home or pickup at our Venue at Home storefront. Order today at holidaysbyvenue.net. That's holidaysbyvenue.net.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, We're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's. During double discount days, double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations, and our gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. And right now, during gift card double discount days, when you buy $50 in gift cards, get a $10 gift card free. Happy holidays from Valentino's.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
This is the Adam Carriekr Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriekr Show. We've got a guest on the line for Carriekr's Trivia Challenge. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if he beats me, we'll get a $100 gift certificate to Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street here in Lincoln. All right, and I did remember, because I went blank in the first segment, but I did remember what I was going to mention. Then we would do Carriekr's Trivia Challenge. Arizona State, every single team in the college football playoff. Think about this. Think if every single team in the NFL playoffs had a player that was in free agency and was no longer on the team. How insane would that be? Every single team in the playoff. Texas has the second most, but every single team has players in the transfer portal that will not be helping them in this playoff. And that's due to the system, as I elaborated on Tuesday. It's not even due to the players most of the time. Arizona State, who just won a conference championship, had a finalist for National Coach of the Year in Kenny Dillingham, and has a bye and is guaranteed to play in a New Year's Six playoff bowl game on New Year's Day, has 12 players in the portal, including a couple starters. How insane is that, Jake?
It's silly. It's silly that college football's lined up that way.
Say it with me. It's not ass of 7. It's not ass of 8. It's ass of 9. I need more conviction next time, Jake. Come on, man. All right, go ahead. Bring on our guest, and let's do this thing.
All right, Jason, are you there?
Hello.
All right, fantastic. Ready to try to take down Carriekr in some trivia today?
Well, yeah, I'm probably going to contribute to his winning percentage, but we'll see what we can do.
By the way, we're going to say I'm 5-2 because you said 5-3. I know I have 2 losses, but you think I have 5 wins?
Yeah, I think
we'll go with 5-2. And even if I even if I lose and get to 3 losses at some point, I'm just going to whine and complain that I should still get in the playoff like Alabama. Okay.
That works.
All right. We'll get it going. It's just going to be 3 either-or questions, and Carriekr will try to match your score or exceed it, preferably. If not, we'll go to the tiebreaker. Sound good? All right. No music today. We still got an echo going there, so just put some elevator music in your head there. Let's just start.
I love it. Use your imagination.
Yeah, there you go. Let's start with this. So this is all around the playoffs and some of the best players to ever play at these schools. We'll start with you, Jason, here. Who is Notre Dame's career passing leader? Is it Brady Quinn or Jimmy Clausen?
Jimmy Clausen.
It is actually Brady Quinn.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
I felt like that was a tough one.
Let's go to Penn State's career passing leader, Trace McSorley or Sean Clifford.
Well, since Trace McSorley is one of my son's favorite all-time Penn Staters, let's go with Trace McSorley.
He's one of my favorite too, but unfortunately, Sean Clifford has more passing yards.
So I don't know the answer. I would have said Sean Clifford because that's a random name to just randomly be in there. He has to be the winner if he's included. Anyways, go ahead.
Let's go to Ohio State's career passing leader. Is it J.T. Barrett or C.J. Stroud?
C.J. Stroud.
It is actually J.T. Barrett, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh, 0 for 3.
Yeah, so not a good start, but...
You are my favorite guest we've ever had on, as long as I don't go 0 for 3, too.
There's a chance that he'll go 0 for 3s, too. And if not, by the way, Jason, you're included as anybody. If Carriekr wins, caller number 3 will get the prize. Jason could also win that in that way. But still a chance Carriekr misses all his
no
questions
boy,
here.
no pressure.
Let's go to Indiana's career passing leader. Carriekr, this is on you. Nate Sudfeld or Antoine Randall L.
Oh, good Lord. Indiana threw the ball before this year. I'm going to go with Nate Sudfeld.
You are correct in Nate Sudfeld.
All right, let's do the other two just for fun.
Yeah, let's just see. SMU's career rushing yards leader. Is it Craig James or Eric Dickerson?
Well, those were the two options that anybody's going to come up with. I'm going to go with Eric Dickerson.
Hey, there you go. There's 2 out of 2 for you. Let's see if he can get the sweep. Tennessee's career rushing yards leader. Is it Arian Foster or Travis Henry?
Hold on. Tennis. Oh, I immediately went to the Titans. Repeat the question again. Sorry.
Yeah, Tennessee Volunteers career rushing yards leader, Arian Foster or Travis Henry?
I'm going to go with Travis Henry.
There you go. All 3 of them.
All right.
Clean sweep. That means Carriekr wins it. That means caller number 3 will win the prize, 402-464-5685.
Hey, thank you for playing. I appreciate it.
There he goes. He hung up. He's ready to call in again.
He's probably going to be that winner this time. All right. Here is an interesting thought, and I thought it'd be interesting to share on air. So here we go. You cannot see your reflection in boiling water. Similarly, you cannot see the truth in a state of anger. When the water calms, clarity comes. You like that, Jake?
I do like that.
I'm a philosophizer. All right,
Yes.
Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, a little bit more college football, Huskers, and Nebraska volleyball. Are they going to take down and get revenge on Penn State tonight? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry, this deal ends soon. See Home Club for details.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith. Innovation has a name. Call John Henry's at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day, and it will be windy. We'll see an afternoon high near 53. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a continued breeze, a low near 14. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds, and an afternoon high around 28. Meteorologist Kyle Becker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Celebrate Christmas this year with Venue Restaurant and Lounge and our Christmas to-go meal packages. Our options include rosemary brown sugar prime rib with horseradish cream, andouille cornbread pork roulade with a sage country gravy, pistachio cranberry butter roasted duck with an orange glaze, and an herb roasted whole chicken with lemon thyme cream sauce. You choose delivery right to your home or pickup at our Venue at Home storefront. Order today at holidaysbyvenue.net. That's holidaysbyvenue.net.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith. Innovation has a name. Call John Henry's at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Looking for a last-minute Christmas gift for the Husker fan in the family? Look no further. Share the Husker spirit by purchasing a women's basketball starting five mini plan today for just $65. The plan includes reserved seats for 5 home Big Ten matches for just $65. The Big Ten schedule is packed, with the Huskers hosting 7 contests against 2024 postseason qualifiers. Help us show the Big Ten what Husker Nation is all about by purchasing your starting 5 mini plan today. Don't wait. Head over to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat. Go Big Red.
This is the Adam Carriekr Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriekr Show. Segment 3 today of the Adam Carriekr Show is sponsored by our good friends at Mulberry Barbecue at 11th and Cornhusker, open Monday through Saturday. From 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., try their Burton sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of delicious ribs, a half-smoked chicken, and much, much more, plus incredible sides. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, located at 11th and Cornhusker. All right, anything off the old textual line I should be aware of there, Jake?
Yeah, there's a couple of thoughts about not everybody agrees that Travis Hunter should have won the Heisman. Trent chimes in. At what competition did Travis Hunter play? Also,
what competition?
Yeah, what type of competition? If you're believing Boise State's competition.
I got you. So technically, this is how I view it. To answer that question real quick, I know it's more rhetorical, but there's really a Power 2, the Big Ten, SEC. There's the next two, which is the Big 12 and ACC, and then there's everybody else, which is the G5. So to me, he played in that next two, which is slightly above the G5. But you look at the Oregon game, like, again, I am not like, Genty shouldn't have won. I am just like edging towards Hunter, okay, just a smidgen. All right, and honestly, it hurts that he's a Colorado guy, but I try to be unbiased. He's just a good dude. Everything you hear about him, he's a good dude. Now, when it comes to Genty, the thing that helps him that I have not pointed out yet, I don't believe, was the Oregon game. Nearly 200 yards of total offense, 182 rush yards, and he had big runs on Oregon. So that is something, when you talk about the level of competition he played, that helps Genty. So again, I'm trying to be fair. When you compare it to Gordon, and maybe Gordon should have won, but Gordon did it week in and week out versus a little better competition in the Big Ten. Slightly edged out Genty. But again, if Gordon would have won, I'd have been all right with that. I think Marcus Mariota winning was fine. I think Genty winning would have been fine. I think Hunter. Like, there are highway robberies in the history of the Heisman Trophy. And Ndamukong Suh is a highway robbery. You know, he didn't even finish in the top 3. He was 4th. Like, what the blue hell is that? All right. The year Johnny Rodgers won it, Rich Glover finished 3rd. Glover, who was a phenomenal all-time great, finished a little bit higher than Suh did. And those are two of the best defensive linemen ever. All right, I go to Frazier, and Eddie George. I think he had that, 325 yards or whatever against Illinois, which broke the Ohio State single-game rushing record, which is the game that put him over the top for the Heisman Trophy. Hard to argue with Eddie. I've met Eddie. He's a great dude. He's a beast. I don't know how you don't give it to Tommy, though. And I've even asked Osborne, and I was surprised at his blunt answer. I go, was Tommy kind of robbed that year? He goes, oh yeah, he was. Like, that was his answer. I was like, oh, all right. Not a whole lot of doubt there. Love that from Coach Osborne. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Jake. Anything else?
Yeah, one more kind of interesting thought here from 4578 says, Adam, we need contracts. We need the receiving university of a player on the hook to buy out that contract so the university is compensated for the time it spent recruiting and develop a player, i.e. C. James Williams. Nebraska should be compensated by FSU for finding him and developing him at the next level. We can then use that money to find a replacement. What do you think about that sort of idea?
Hallelujah, amen, and keep on preaching. That's all I got to say. I couldn't agree more. Like, there needs to be a salary cap. There needs to be contracts. There needs to be things. And they're going to happen because the people in charge of college football are too busy making money, and this is costing them money. And then they're going to start to lose their coaches, which is a main part of their workforce, which is a main part of your business that you're trying to make money in. So it's coming. I don't know how long it's going to take, and the biggest hurdle is you got to get people in big-time suits who are used to being the biggest, smartest, baddest dude in the room that all come together in a room and agree on something. That's the thing that's going to take the longest, but it is coming, and I couldn't agree anymore. So this is interesting. Snoop Dogg, Arizona Bowl. Who would have thought that Snoop Dogg would have a bowl game, by the way? Snoop Dogg, Arizona Bowl is one of a kind in multiple ways. All right, it's the first bowl game to have an alcohol sponsorship. Also, the first bowl game as an NIL. Players will get paid to participate. And I threw this out there a week or two ago. So there should be a salary cap, there should be contracts, et cetera, et cetera. As far as bowl games, you've either got to completely get rid of them and just expand the playoff, which I'm not a fan of, like beyond 16 or to at least 16, like the FCS. Or if you want to keep the bowl games, which there's been like 5 bowl games played already. I'm the ultimate bowl game guy. I have done Bowl Mania every single year since my rookie year in St. Louis, 2007. I watch Army-Navy. The game ends. There's a bowl game like right after the Heisman or whatever it was. I looked at my wife. I'm like, holy crap, we aren't doing Bowl Mania this year. She goes, you want to do it? I was like, nope. Me, of all people, for the first time in my life. I used to do it as a kid with my dad. I'm not doing Bowl Mania. That's how much. If that doesn't tell you how devalued bowl games are, I don't know what will. Whether you like this show, whether you think I know what I'm talking about, the one thing you can't deny is my love of college football. And I am so disinterested in bowl games that I don't even want to take 10 seconds just to randomly write down names on a piece of paper. I haven't watched a second of a bowl game yet. The only thing I've watched is the highlight of that fake punt.
Oh, yeah.
That was phenomenal. One of the best fake punts I've ever seen. But I can't even tell you who the two teams were. Was it UNLV?
Yeah.
And they were playing. I was going to get it right. All right, I was going to say Cal. I was just going to throw a shot in the dark. Just from what was popping into my memory bank from the clip that I saw on social media because I did not watch the bowl game. So I've said with bowl games, if you want them to matter, if you want them to count, you've got to entice players to play because that's the world we live in now. Have you seen Micah Hudson's supposed NIL deal? Don't blame him. Don't blame him. Blame the people in charge that allowed him to be part of a system to demand the things that he demanded in that deal. Maybe I should explain that here in a second. Has it already been talked about a ton on this station probably, Jake?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, so I won't explain the details. Like, he's got rides to and from practice. He's got stuff for family members. It's all this crazy stuff. I don't blame him. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. He didn't make the rules. He's simply enjoying the rules that he's allowed to live within. Go to the rule makers. Get on them. Don't tweet at student athletes. They have no say in this. Tweet or go after the people in charge, the people who don't know about football, who don't care about football, who are rolling around in these big fancy cars and high-priced suits and trying to make as much money as they can. Go after them. And I don't mean go after like in a crazy way, but hold them accountable in a way that makes sense, please. All right, so here's my thoughts with the bowl game. This is, other than bringing up the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, which I've actually brought up once before, I just happen to have the note in front of me. This is not anything that I was going to talk about. We'll get into Nebraska volleyball at least. We got to talk about the Final Four tonight briefly before we go. How much time I got, Jake?
We got about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right. With bowl games, and what do you think of this? And text folks on the text line, let me know your thoughts on this. I'm just going to pull numbers out of my rear, and I'm just going to grab a position, okay, just for an example. So let's say I'm the quarterback. Let's say UCLA. UCLA played Wisconsin like 5,000 times in bowl games in the 90s. I think it was twice in the Rose Bowl and once in the Sun Bowl, like 3 out of 4 years. So I'm the quarterback at UCLA. We're going to play Wisconsin in the Sun Bowl. Okay, not the Rose Bowl, not a game that people have years and years of investment in, but the Sun Bowl, who's, by the way, has been around for almost 40 years, just not as well known. Always played on New Year's Eve. And let's say if I play in the bowl game, I'm going to get more money. I'm going to get $100,000. I'm just pulling numbers out. I don't know if this is what they would get paid or how it would work. It's $50,000. Okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll say $100,000, just nice even round number. I'm the quarterback. I'm a big important guy, and I'm going to get $100,000 if I play. That's enticing to play. Now, because I've signed a contract, because there should be contracts and salary caps, if I don't honor my contract, I get fined. So whatever I would have played, it would have been paid to play $100,000. I now get fined $100,000. So now there's a $200,000 worth of difference in money. And I don't know if this would be the exact money or how it would work. Maybe it's $50,000, $10,000. I don't know. But now all of a sudden I'm $200,000 in the hole if I just go play in this bowl game. All of a sudden you're going to get the players to play. The bowl games are going to be more interesting. They're never going to be what they once were because we have the playoff. But if you want it to actually be interesting, so Adam Carriekr gives 2 cents to this side of a monkey's rear end and actually fills out a Bowl Mania card, they get players to play who actually are like normal starters instead of, hey, this is the preseason game for next year, which is basically, Matt Rule's kind of said, we're using this for next year, by the way, and I don't blame him. That's kind of my thought. You would get maybe a bonus. You would get fined if you don't play. And you get kind of double whammed. You don't get the bonus and you get fined if you don't play versus just getting the bonus if you do play. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Jake? Are people texting in on that? Do they love it, hate it? What do we got?
Well, I think it's interesting. I just wonder, if the whole idea is the calendar year, right? I mean, because that's what's everybody's making their move for 2025. We played all these bowl games in December, and had everything kind of lead up to January. Then you could fit it in because I think the problem is still, no matter how much you play somebody for a bowl game, is if they're trying to get ready and get into the next school by January, 4th or whatever it is they need to get enrolled in by, it's still going to have a lot of players leaving.
So let's say, because I proposed this the other day, let's say we alter a few things, move RV Navy to week 0, kicks off the year, opens up the weekend, an earlier weekend right after championship weekend in college football. You got the first round of the playoffs. Then you got the second round of the playoffs, which would be this weekend instead of which is the first round. And then you have your national championship on New Year's Day in the frickin' Rose Bowl where it should be. And you can have other bowl games around it, obviously not playoff games. And you end on January 1st. And maybe even you pick up the phone, you talk to a few universities, say, hey, we're making billions of dollars. Why don't you move your second semester start date back a week? And all of a sudden now you've got anywhere from 10 to 14, and if they move it back a week, you've got 14 to 21 days. And the portal can open literally January 2nd. What do you think?
I think that's what we got to do, yeah.
But so combined with my thoughts on how to get players to play in the bowl game, I mean, you seem to like that, the January 1st Rose Bowl national title. I don't like that it's always going to be on UCLA's home field and USC's hometown. Does that become an advantage over time? Topic for another day. But you seem to like that. But what are your thoughts on the paying versus fining if you do or don't play in a bowl game?
I do like it. I think the one thing you're always going to be fighting the playoffs. And then the more you spend the playoffs, the less these other bowl games matter.
Yep.
So, I mean, I love the tradition of it, but I think they're on borrowed time. There's no way, and we'll feel it this week when we start watching these playoff games, then go back to trying to watch bowl games like it's already happened with the 14 playoff.
Yep.
You go back to those bowl games, you're just like, what am I doing wasting my time watching a game that doesn't matter in the playoff?
I wouldn't hate. We're going to 14 teams in 2 years, okay? I wouldn't hate a 14-team playoff where the top 2 seeds get a bye. I've already kind of diatribed in the past, how I would do the whole thing with the 5 conference champs where they'd be seeded. But the top 2 seeds getting a bye, all right, probably the Big Ten SEC champ more times than not, all right. But I wouldn't expand it beyond that. Why do I need to watch Oregon play whoever number 16? Of course, Clemson is 16. They're in the playoff. Bad example. But a typical number 16 who is probably going to be a 3 or 4 loss team, nowhere near the conference championship game. The ACC is so bad that their champ ended up ranked 16th this year, which is why they're going to go defunct in a couple of years, or one of the reasons. But I digress. Why do I need to watch that? Okay, let's actually value the regular season a little, the conference championships a little bit, and make them the top 2 seeds. But with the bowl games, it becomes less is more. There's so many bowl games. You don't even have to have a winning record to get in. With all due respect to us, as badly as I wanted us to go to a bowl game, you should have to have a winning record in my world. Okay, and 5 and 7 should never happen. So you should have to be at least 7 and 5, at least 7 and 5 to get into a bowl game. So less becomes more, and then you get the better players to play by enticing them financially or punishing them financially if they don't play. And maybe the bowl games matter an average amount. They're never going to be what they once were, but just slightly below average to average amount. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I think that could help too. I just think the problem is they must be making some money with all these bowl games.
Oh, they are.
So many of them.
They are. It's all about the moolah. All right, one final thought. We got to get out of here. People seem to enjoy my drone comment the other day. So this was a message that was sent to me, and I was told that I could share this. All right, Adam, also about the drones. I have some family friends who are in the special forces and or federal agents. They think the drones are sniffer drones. They aren't sniffing drones, Adam. But rather, for nuclear oil material, they have sensors. That was this whole reason for sending it to me. They have sensors, so they aren't necessarily sniffing, but they're sniffer drones. Does that make sense at all?
You're speaking outside my language.
Yeah, I know. I tried. All right, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day. Nebraska volleyball. Got to get revenge on Penn State tonight. Go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the bomb.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 31st is 30% off on Smithy pans. The Mercado is closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and it wishes you and yours a very happy holidays. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney and Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's. During double discount days, double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations, and our gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. And right now, during gift card double discount days, when you buy $50 in gift cards, get a $10 gift card free. Happy holidays from Valentino's.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall.